Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to another entry in Kalkine Media's popular InvestNest webinar series. This entry is a bit of a cozy one for winter. It's a fireside chat with Australian innovators featuring Invion Limited, Holista Colltech, and also Corporality Global. And my name is James Preston, and I'm an anchor and reporter with Kalkine TV, and I'll be your moderator for today's event. And just before we start the session, it is important that you're aware that this webinar is for informational purposes only. It's not a solicitation or recommendation to buy, sell, or hold the stock of any of these companies or any other companies that might be mentioned inadvertently or engage in any investment activity under discussion. Here at Kalkine, we're neither licensed nor qualified to provide investment advice on this particular platform. But with that said, the whole goal of Kalkine Media's InvestNet webinar series is to provide exclusive insights from some of the country's most important companies and to provide an opportunity to have further questions answered outside of our speaker presentations to help you increase your financial IQ. Now, these presentations will be nice and short and sharp. We'll hear from our three speakers and then dive into a series of Q&As. And if there are any further questions you might have in the process of how things unfold, you can just let us know via an email at info@Kalkine Media. And it is now time for our rapid fire questions. So what we'll do here is we'll try and keep the answers from all of you to be reasonably short. And I'll get Rajen and Thian to also turn on your cameras here, and then just in between the questions, if you're not answering them, just quickly chuck the mic on. But let's begin with Invion themselves. So Thian, we'll get you into here, mate. What would you say is the highest priority for Invion right now?
Highest priority is to start our clinical trials. So as you mentioned before, there's a lot of work to do before you get there. Certainly around safety talks before you get to people, and also just to make sure we have the quality of materials. But no doubt that is our number one objective.
Yeah, tremendous. Now, Rajen, one for you as well. Would you say the post-lockdown phase brought any surprises for you? Did it, I suppose, throw up a couple of interesting challenges in terms of the work that you had to do?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the biggest problem worldwide right now is supply chain and inflation, both of products, commodities, but also deflation of both the ringgit and the Australian dollar. So, that's going to be a navigating issue. Apart from that, I think our highest priority now is to get the infection control going in this post-pandemic world. And we really want to do something with collagen. I think there's a big opportunity there down the line beyond the cosmetic.
Yeah, terrific. Now, Priya, one for you. What has been your favorite work memory so far? Obviously, you started this with your husband. You've been running a very successful business for a while now, but what stands out for you?
For me, it's the challenges I face, and I love when I'm able to help people especially in the crisis situation to survive, because that last 2 years, if anything, I have been learning with other clients and the challenges, and when they were losing 60, 70, 80% work within like 1 month, or say lockdown happened. Some companies, like I was working with 4 event-based companies, they were like gone within 2 weeks. So my biggest, that's what I learned. Build a sustainable business that you can survive. People always say, oh, don't save for the rainy season, money and all, but because you have to take the risk. But at the same time, I'm saying that if you're going in 2 weeks time, it's not a business. You need to understand this kind of a crisis can occur in given scenario in your personal life, professional life, geopolitical situation, economical reason, political uncertainty. There's so many external threats are, continuous dancing. If you pay attention to it, you need to be prepared for that, and that's what I learned. And that's why I'm always enforcing these days, build a sustainable business, know your exit plan, know your, how you're going to survive if things are going to go south.
Look, I think we've had more than enough to contend with the last 2 years. I mean, you look at this year alone, we've got the Russia-Ukraine war, we've still got COVID hanging around, third wave happening now. So yes, there's never a shortage of things to contend with. That is for sure. Thian, back to you now, mate. Now, obviously there's been a lot of discussion today about the work you're doing with those cancer treatments, but let's take a step away from that a little bit. How's the other research going for some of your other products and other things that you're looking to, I suppose, create a solution for?
Yeah, they're going well. It's, they are new disease areas. There has been early stage research using other PDT technologies. We have a lot of the, characteristics that overcome a lot of shortcomings from the past. It takes time to find the right partners. It takes time to do certain tests, and discovery is a very uncertain thing. So discovery is basically when you're trying to figure out where your technology can be applied. And that can take a long time. So there's an uncertain period there. In terms of cancer, we're well past that area. We know which drug candidate we're using. We know what we have to do. That's a much more predictable pathway. But there are a lot of interesting people we're looking to potentially collaborate with, and I think that'll be another interesting sort of thing to watch out for.
Absolutely. Rajen, to you now, mate. Your company is going strong in the global health and wellness industry. What do you think have been the key growth drivers for your recent performance?
It's definitely increased consumer awareness of the need to be healthy. I mean, we knew from COVID, those who are not healthy were dying, were entering the ICU, and those who entered the ICU, if they were diabetic, obese, had some form of comorbidity, they were dying more. And I think this message is kind of strong in people. So I see just an increased need for people to be healthy. I see an increased need for immunity products, especially among children. There's definitely a concern about elderly, right? Especially as we see now, as COVID comes in more and more waves, and despite the vaccines, people are still getting ill. And I think this is a driver really for, I need to be healthy myself. Whether I vaccinate, that's a separate issue. I just want to be healthy myself.
Well, let me put you on the spot then. I mean, outside of using some of your own Holista products, what do you do to keep healthy? Is there a bit of an exercise bike in the house? Is it 100 push-ups a day?
Well, for a start, I make sure I get 7 to 8 hours of sleep, because we found that those who sleep have much better immune systems. And sleep, fortunately, is free. It's free, but people don't sleep enough. We are, as they say, wired but tired, right? So the other thing is eat right, eat good. I'm very big on what I see as low carb approaches: low carb, no carb, keto, low GI. So I take a very low GI lifestyle. And yes, I tend to do about 40 to 50 push-ups a day and a little bit of breathing.
Very nice. Look, I'm at 25 so far today, but I can tell you now, this is all me not doing what you're suggesting, getting enough sleep. So hopefully I can at least fix that part. Priya, we'll come to you now. Obviously, this is a pretty interesting day that we're having here, discussing all these different things. Good to have, I suppose, different perspectives from healthcare industry and obviously your marketing there. What would you say is the trend in marketing at the moment? Where are things going? We've heard a lot about the metaverse, for example. Is that an area you're looking to explore, or what are your clients?
Yes, virtual reality is coming more real, to be honest, and especially the newer generation is actually very inclined towards it. And not only that, the drone and VR, and there are so many technological development is happening, and market is not adopting. And recently, a company approached me, and they wanted to be voice search friendly. Because I don't know if like car is literally, if you are driving, an advanced car is actually telling you what all the restaurants on that street, where is your petrol pump, all that information you are getting in the car, it's AI is talking to you. So people are looking forward that, and they say, this new things come, this voice search is happening. I said, Siri came 13, 14 years ago. Like we are like almost 1.5 decades delayed for that things to be adopted. It's like when car came, the car seat came 10 years later when there were a lot of death happening. The thing is that market needs to be adopted based on the futuristic approach. I always talk to people, think what's coming, right? Market is already trying to introduce a lot of electrical vehicle and AI base, and drone is coming. There's so many new technological development is happening. We should be ready to adopt. And people have been talking about, is this AI is going to be replacing this drone and robot is going to be replacing. I always say this is a change of job, just need to be more educated towards that. And once you be educated towards that, you will adopt to the new skill set. All a human needs to do to adopt to a new skill set. And once you adopt to that, and once you are, more acceptance, if you'll bring in your mindset, then you'll be prepared much faster than, after things are in the market. So keep up with the futuristic approach mindset, and things will be all right.
I like that. Forward thinking. That is literally the key to, I think, most success in life these days. If you get stuck exactly where you are, you can't push out of your comfort zone, you're in all sorts of trouble. Now, speaking of trouble, we have come pretty much to a close here. One final question for each of you here, and I've got to put you a little bit on the spot. Thian, we'll come back to you. So obviously we've spoken a bit today about your Photosoft technology. I understand there's a new patent application for it. What does that mean for the company, and which other global markets are you targeting for new patents?
Yeah, so the patent process starts off with a national filing, and then you go international. Once you go international, you essentially have started the clock, and assuming you ultimately get those patents, you're good for 20 years. Now, we had a patent protection already on the Photosoft technology, but that dated back to 2014. And so by developing, actually, we were meant to go to clinical trials a couple of years ago, but this little thing called COVID kind of interrupted the process. So we actually took a step back and developed a whole bunch of new compounds, which are actually even more potent than our previous candidate. And so on the back of this work we did over the last couple of years, we have a large number of new potential compounds and a lot of new IP. And that's where we basically started the IP process. Now it'll extend for us essentially to the global arena. Our license essentially covers us for Australia, New Zealand, many parts of Asia Pacific. We've been acquiring more licenses as we been getting better results. But I think these, the new IP essentially extends our exclusive period another 2 decades. And so that gives us just more time and protection to commercialize our technology.
Yeah, mate, some big advancements are set to occur for your company in the next 20 years. I think that is very clear for everyone to see, especially off the back of your presentation today. So once more, well done on the work you are doing. Now let's come across here to Dr. Rajen. This is your final question, my friend. Now you've spoken plenty today about your love for collagen and using it in some of the work that you're doing. So I'm going to finish off on a note there. You're the only company at the moment involved in manufacturing Australian-made sheep collagen. How do you plan to leverage that and, I suppose, the dominance in the market and use it to your full potential?
Well, first of all, collagen is the most common protein in the human body, right? All of us lose it as we age, and many of us lose it in the event of injury, burns, but also there's a huge potential market for surgery, organ transplantation, organ printing, where the key ingredient will be collagen, right? So we've not been investing in this. We've not looked at this space, but this is something that we want to go forward into because it is the most common raw material of any organ. And we think that we're too small as a company. We need to partner with players. And I don't think any company in Western Australia really has the capacity to go global. So we are working right now to see how we can work with partners globally to take this technology beyond made in Australia, but consumed globally. It's been very, very tough and very, very difficult. I make no promises, but we're trying very hard to do something with partners.
Like the key thing is though, Rajen, you're still trying to innovate, and that's crucial in this sector at the moment, especially when you consider the things that we have dealt with for the past 2 years. COVID pretty much wrapped up now, but still lingering.
Yeah, one kilogram of medical grade collagen right now in the world market is $540,000 more than gold, But we are right now playing in the shores. We need to get deep into the ocean. We need to beat all the sharks in between and find the pearl. It's not an easy task, and it's certainly beyond us. We need to work with partners.
Look, I love the analogy, and I don't think my little canoe in my garage can help you too much, but I do wish you all the best for the future with that, that's for sure. Priya, we'll come to you finally here. Now, I think this one is a very topical question for you, given the age that we now live in of social media. Would you say the influencer culture has changed the way that you look at marketing and branding with your business?
Yes, of course, social media has changed a lot of thinking, but at the same time, it's also created a lot of confusion, and creating, and I always say, like, and the Bambora company always talks about it, that don't pollute the ocean. The kind of information has been thrown out there without doing a proper research and based on this just assumption or the false news. One false news you put, and anybody can put any data without doing a proper research, and it creates a lot of confusion and a problem for people. So I always say, are you aware that within a minute, 8,000 blogs is being posted in Australia only, right? The kind of pollution we are doing without having the enough knowledge, and it's just the replica of the same old narrative. But the thing is that people need to be more innovative. It's the age of innovative. You need to make sure that you are not creating a confusion. And there is a monitoring required for the information is floating on the social media. There should be a bit more responsible people required in the market. Marketing is a very responsible job. I do believe in it. And it is we have been actually demonized a lot, that we create a lot of false information and we make more fancy and all those things. But at the same time, if we'll take our proper responsibility and we will not pollute and we will do a proper job, then I think it's a very unique area of expertise for people to have. And I'm very proud to be in this area. And it's been changed a lot, and it is gonna change. It's changing ever. Technology, there was a time people say technology is everlasting changing area, but I'm telling you, marketing and of course the biotech, and I play in this area. Like majority of my clients, I work with this biotech, medtech, to fintech, technology. I've been in technology for 25 years, right? And I have seen the changes. And we need to be more responsible and more ethical towards our work, and educate proper, maintain the transparency. It is very, very important.
No, well said. And I think in terms of that false narrative, we can just blame that on fake news as opposed to marketing. That's fine. But Priya, thank you very much for that response there. And given we've just had you have a chat, I'll give you a chance here to get your final thoughts across for being involved today, and also what you'd like our audience to take away from your company in particular.
So you're talking about me, James?
Yes, absolutely. So just give your final thoughts on being involved today, and also what you would like anybody who's tuned in today to be reminded of with your company and potentially getting involved with them.
I would suggest that, stay afloat. This is a very tough time, but it's a very interesting time as well. So especially in the innovation space, and there are a lot of companies are not around because they were not innovative. So be innovative, whatever space you are in, just be innovative and find out your ecosystem where you can actually give the value add. And my last thought is that no matter how small, you should have a corporate social responsibility. And you must, even if you have $1 to donate, must donate. $1 a day can make a lot of difference.
Very true, especially if you start buying an apple. Am I right there, Rajen? I know you're very much about the healthy lifestyle, mate, but Priya, thank you so much for that. Rajen, we'll get your final thoughts as well for being involved today, and also what you'd like the audience to take away for your company moving forward.
I think, Holista represents how we are going back to nature after all this, right? How we're understanding that our inner health and inner strength matters in a pandemic, when you've shutdowns, right? How immunity needs to be boosted, and understanding that it's not one supplement, though we do supplement, but it's a lifestyle that we're trying to bring, right? So that's where we are today. But I think with the whole story of collagen, there's a future here, right? And I believe that as we all live longer and longer, there'll be a bigger need for collagen, both oral collagen, cosmetic collagen, but also down the line medical collagen, where you're part of the organ printing industry, which I believe will evolve significantly as we all get smarter, as we all get richer. The richer ones want to live longer, if not forever. And obviously, if you could print an organ, that would be a big change in the landscape going forward.
And at the moment, my printer doesn't even do basic paper, so that would be very exciting if we could get to that point. But Rajen, thank you so much for being involved today, mate.
Thank you.
Now, Thian, thanks for your patience. We'll finish with you, my friend. Obviously, I want to get your thoughts on getting involved with the webinar today and also what we should be keeping in mind with Invion moving forward.
Well, I guess simplistically, what we're trying to do at Invion is we'd like to make a difference. And we believe we have a technology that can do that. And so firstly, watch out for what's going on the cancer space. We're aiming over the coming year or so to get into a clinic. And that will really make clinical trials. So that will be the first test of the technology in the human context. So that's something really exciting to be looking forward to. And then there should be also some other things to look out for on the heart disease, atherosclerosis, as well as the infectious disease side. So a lot of really interesting things. We believe we've got something special, and it's a space to watch out for. Now, if it's helpful for some of the viewers, there's a nice video link on our website which has Dr. Andrew Stevens, who heads up our research in the Hudson Institute. He has some very digestible videos that explain some of our technology and some of the work we've done, and I think that they should be quite educational for the audience.
I think that's a very good note. That's definitely something we should be checking out. You've certainly given us plenty of insights into what you're doing at the company, but never hurts to get a little bit more information, that is for sure. Thian, thank you so much for being involved today.
Great, thanks, James.
Well, Thian, Rajen, Priya, that's it for us. Thank you so much for your time today. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed this InvestNest webinar series edition. That is all for now, though. If you do have any further questions, you can, of course, get involved by hitting us up on the email info@Kalkine Media. If there was anything that you wanted to particularly ask any one of our experts, we'll make sure they get forwarded onto them. But for now, that is it for this edition. Been great to have your company. I'm James Preston, signing off for Kalkine.